Hello.
Hi.
It- I'm Kai, generational Native Hawaiian Ho'oponopono practitioner, emotional release expert. Who do we have here today?
Hi, my name is Courtney. I am 36 years old and I have been doing Ho'oponopono for about the last 10, 11 months.
Mhm. And what drew you to this method? What were you going through that drew you to reach out to me? A little bit of background, like really quick. Courtney and I actually go back. I was 18, she was 19. We've known each other for a long time. Now we're in our mid to late 30s, mid 30s, late 30s. And we both have been through some stuff, but we just never knew about it. And I started posting about stuff on TikTok, and then she found me for like a little bit, and then she reached out last year. So, like, give a little bit of background, like what you were going through, what pushed you, or propelled you to reach out, and yeah, like where this all started, this journey with Ho'oponopono.
Well, I think for me, I've always, a little bit of background about me is I've had quite a lot of generational trauma. I grew up with a very angry father, abusive physically, emotionally, mentally. And my mom was a drug addict. She struggled with a narcotics addiction. And so she was in and out of rehab my whole life, not really present. And I grew up as the oldest daughter, which, as many of us know, means that I kind of took on all those responsibilities of my absent mother and kind of had to be there for my younger sister and be an example to her, even though we only have about a 2-year age difference. I I think I reached out to you specifically because I have just always been seeking growth and healing from, I would say, about 2 years after my mom died. So my mom died at 18 when I was 18. And then I moved to Hawaii when I was 19. That's when you and I met. And then about 20, I realized that in the 2 years since my mom died, that I was kind of going down and down and down. And I think I scared myself a little bit. And I didn't want to create my life to be reflection of hers, and I didn't want to go down the same path. I mean, I was even born on my mom's birthday, so I think I identified a lot with her and her addictions, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll be a drug addict, and so I just scared myself basically, and I have always valued growth. So I went through a lot of personal growth seminars and group therapy and talk therapy and learning meditation practice and, trying to journal, which for some reason I could really never get into journaling. I feel like it's too exposed and I felt too vulnerable. Like anyone could just pick it up and, oh, there all my inner thoughts would be,
Yeah.
you know? So I think what appealed to me about what you were teaching is, well, first, we already had a baseline of foundation and trust. And I just feel like I was struggling so much that I was willing to try anything. And I said, okay, here's my friend who I trust, who I know would not steer me wrong. Over the years, maybe we weren't in contact every week or every month, but, we always kind of found our way back to each other and were able to connect and have that sense of home, sense of friendship, sense of understanding. And so I think once I started watching your videos and seeing the way you were putting yourself out there, the shy girl that I once knew was being so brave and so courageous and, putting yourself out there. And, you know, I just thought, okay, well, if Kai can do it, then I guess I can give it a shot. And yeah, I was struggling with a lot at the time. I was waking up with major anxiety, so much so that I would have to run to the bathroom within the first 5 minutes of opening my eyes, or not even opening my eyes, just awareness. And so a lot of stomach problems. Um, I think a major thing for me was the way that I would react when I got into arguments, either with my family. I'd feel this heavy sense of pressure and obligation to like continue to help my sister and to be something for her and to never hold her accountable because it wasn't her fault and just kind of being that doormat for her. And then in my relationship, the way that I would react to arguments, I would freak myself out, like the way that I would react to things. And even in the moment, I'd be reacting with all this anger and all this intensity. And I would even be thinking in the moment while I was saying these things or doing these things, like, this isn't me.
Mhm.
And I think it scared me because I didn't know what it meant to feel anger and feel safe at the same time.
Right.
And so through this journey, I feel like I've been able to release so much of that tension that now I feel like when I get into situations where, I realize I'm overreacting or, you know, just even slightly within the first, I want to say, couple minutes, I can immediately just self correct, and observe my behavior and see that, okay, this isn't me. I'm being ridiculous. Like I can even laugh at myself in the moment, actually, rather than feeling trapped behind a wall of like fury. So,
Like tangled in it. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And it was like an anchor, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Like sucking me down to the deep,
Right.
you know?
Right. Like a boat anchor. Right.
Yes. Yes.
And so with these, like, can you go a little bit more into the shifts? Um, like, so you're able to process emotions quicker,
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm.
You're able to like process them, pause. Like it
Hmm.
gives you the capacity to pause, process, like catch yourself, pause, process, edify,
Hmm.
forward.
Hmm.
Yeah. So how has that shifted um, your stomach problems, your feelings with your sister, your interactions with your family members and with your partner? Like how has it shifted from all of that that you were experiencing to what you experience now? Can we go a little bit deeper into that, the shift?
Sure, sure, yeah. So I think with my family specifically, I'll start there. I always felt like a heaviness and a responsibility, which completely makes sense given that, my mom wasn't present and I was then assigned these responsibilities that never should have been my responsibilities. So I feel like I always had this heaviness, even though I moved away and lived other places and experienced other things. I always felt this like pull, like back to, oh, you're a bad sister, you're a bad daughter, you're not doing the correct things. Like, you moved away from us, and I would feel all this guilt and obligation, even though I was still moving in the
Yeah.
direction that I wanted to, So with my with my family, I feel like my brother, he's older, and so I always felt like I just wanted to be accepted and loved by him. I wanted him to understand me more, and now I feel like I don't feel that burden of expecting him to do something that makes me feel accepted or understood. I just feel like kind of like, oh, like an individual. I don't feel so clung to my family identity. I feel like I can make my own decisions and I'm not basing them on what is my family going to think. I'm not basing them on is how are they going to think of me? What are they going to look at me? I'm not visiting my nieces and nephew enough. So a lot of those obligations with my sister, I think I just always felt responsible for helping guide her and lead her in life, in a way that is reflective of who I am because I identified so closely with the behaviors that she would do and everything. And so now I just feel like a very healthy detachment, if that makes sense. So I
Mhm.
feel like she lives her life, I live mine. She tells me about it. It just feels, I don't know how to say it in any other way, but it feels like more normal. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it feels like we're separate people. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Before it felt like, I don't know, like she was my obligation or my responsibility. And so I just have more peace with that relationship because she's able to make her decisions and walk her path, and I don't feel responsible or guilty or shameful or like I should have guided her differently, or
Right.
so I just feel like I get to live a more peaceful and individual life rather
Mhm.
than feeling drained by their life decisions, their
Right.
health decisions,
Your
whether
responsibility.
or not they're following down the path of my mom or following down the path of my dad. And, you know, my relationship with my dad, however, he is someone who, even though he was very angry and hard to deal with in my childhood, he has a similar growth mindset. And so we've been able to reconnect and have a healthy relationship where I don't feel like he has to be completely out of my life. I
Mhm.
feel like we can relate, but it's not where, oh, I'm disappointing him or I'm doing this to make him proud or things like that.
Mhm.
Now, as far as my primary relationship with my wife, we we still bicker, but it's
Mhm.
not like, you know, okay, this little bicker turns into a 3-hour debate, or
Right.
you know, or like one of us is like, I'm leaving, or, like walking out the door, or, we give each other space. And so it just looks really different. I feel like, I guess the best way to put it is it's more respectful.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I think I learned a lot of bad habits in my childhood. My mom would like fight pretty dirty with her words. And so I think I learned a lot of bad behaviors that even to this day, I'm still trying to undo some of the things that the snappy things that I say or whatever. But I feel like I have a easier time filtering that or going through that because I'm not so emotionally charged.
Right. You have the capacity.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And then in my work life, I feel like I work with people, have coworkers, and then I work with people with intellectual disabilities. And so I feel like in that sense, I have a more backseat observation where before I felt very sensitive. I was very affected by all of the different personalities and all of the different input and the clashing of personalities. And now I just kind of like observe and giggle to myself. And I'm like, oh, there they
Mhm.
go being themselves, So I'm just like, I don't get all stressed out about it. And I think what it all comes down to is like my relationship with myself.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not so hard on myself anymore. Like I had these huge expectations and I expected myself to just know already, after all the therapy I've done, after all the seminars, after all the group therapy. I just thought I should have gotten there by now. Like I should have figured this out. Like,
Yeah.
why am I not like 36 years old. Why do I not own a house? Or why am I, struggling in this area? Why do I not have this and this and that? And all those different things. Like, why am I not emotionally stable or whatever even what does that even mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't have all these weird ideals on myself anymore. And I feel like I can just live my life peacefully and for myself and one step at a time, one day at a time. And, I listen to spirit more and because I can hear it.
Yeah.
Whereas like before it was kind of a very background muffled
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the physical effects have just been wild. Like I don't wake up with anxiety every day. I actually wake up smiling and laughing sometimes, and I don't have like scary dreams. I don't wake up with like a clenched jaw or oh, I just remembered I had like a dead arm. Like most nights I would have a dead arm. And like you explained to me, it's just like, a self-protection. And so I don't have those things anymore. And it's good. And I appreciate the opportunity actually to go back in my mind and think about how all of these things have shifted for me because it's not something I think about every day because it just like dissolved.
Right.
It's something that I deal with on an everyday basis now. So I almost forget. Like I can't even connect with that person that I was, I feel like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
I think it was November when we first started working together because it was right around Thanksgiving. And I was feeling all this obligation to go be with my family, but at the same time, it was making me sick to my stomach to think about going to be there and, you know, um,
Yeah, I remember.
cloaking myself in order to fit something that's comfortable for them. And
Right.
it was too much for me.
Right. I remember. I remember that that was kind of the moving factor. Like me showing up online and you seeing me there, but I remember it
Hmm.
was like the holidays were coming up.
Hmm.
I feel like that's something that I also resonate with from previous me was the holidays always made me nervous, anxious, like I have
Hmm.
to go see my family or I have to do this or I have to do this. And it was very, I didn't want to. And I feel like I
Hmm.
had no choice. It was the weirdest thing. It's like I felt this like codependency.
Hmm.
Like how you said, like you feel dependent now, like independent now versus you never said dependent, but in my mind, I resonated and I was like, I did feel dependent on them,
Hmm.
like
Definitely.
in a way that I can't explain. It's like it's very hard to articulate it because it was so it just was there. It just
Hmm.
existed. This like
Hmm.
weird pull to go back, this pull to like be part of the group, but knowing that it was going to turn out bad and just it's like I just kept getting pulled into that same cycle and loop that I was trying to get out of. So I remember it was the holidays coming up. I remember because it resonated so deep.
Hmm.
Um, but thank
I
you for
think we're both family oriented, you
for
know, and being a good daughter is like being there
sure.
for your family. But I
Sure.
think, and you probably realize this now with your own son and everything, that you being family oriented doesn't necessarily mean you have an obligation to the family that you're from. It's your family that you've created. It's your obligation to your son. It's your connection with him. And it probably makes more sense to you now. Whereas, like, I can even see through your example that, oh, that's what I want. I want a close family that's loving and supportive. Something that it was like a dream that because I didn't experience it, you know?
Right.
There he is right there.
There it is. Here's my theory.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, for sure. It like it made me feel like I couldn't focus on my family. It made me feel like I had to keep focus on the other one. And even though I knew it would take the focus away from my own, which hurt me in a way that I can't even describe because I had wanted my own family for so long and suddenly my attention kept going back, back, back. Like when you were describing yours too, I just thought my attention was on them. And now my attention has been able to shift. I don't get sucked in or pulled into things. I can give the things attention that I desire to give attention to,
mhm.
which is for me boundaries.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like the parallel to having boundaries is like knowing what you desire and taking the action to keep that desire safe. And
Yeah.
that I'm just now realizing that that has been the biggest shift is having boundaries. I feel like what everything you described was it reminds me of a flood of water just going back and forth and entangled roots and it's just like all this interconnectedness and I feel like now there's it's not a flood, there's a wall there.
Mhm.
It's not a
Mhm.
wall of like separation, but it's a wall of this is the line and you're not allowed to cross it and I'm not going to allow myself to cross it and I'm not going to allow you to cross it just because we've got this familial relationship with each other. um so yeah, I resonate deeply. Like thank you for like saying some of this stuff because I don't talk about my shifts either. And so
Yeah.
it did feel like you were just basically saying how I also feel with the outcome of what
Mhm.
this work has done. Um, so day to day, you pretty much just have like a bigger capacity, you have more
Mhm.
boundaries, you have big picture versus being stuck in the little things. You can take a step back and just kind of watch everything versus getting involved in it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even in a physical sense, like, you know, I've shedded my hair. I had long hair up until earlier this year. And it's so funny because whenever I would see other people with short hair, specifically women, I always thought, oh, that looks so nice, but I would never, like, I can't do that. No way. And then, whenever it happened, it was like a few days. And you're like, oh, I'm doing this. And then, oh, that sounds good. And then I'm like, wait, why not? Why can't I do that too? And it's just, it was part of those boundaries, like, even to the extent of my dad thinks women should have long hair. And he would reiterate that to me many times throughout my life.
Mhm.
Or even strangers would be like, oh, your curly hair, it's so beautiful, your long hair. So any way that I could get this positive attention, whether it be my dad, strangers, whoever, is constantly seeking approval to just IDGAF, like, I'm ready to just do whatever, and it feels great. I feel more myself than I ever have, just from the physical the physical shedding, the change, and it feels good to just do what makes me feel good, you know?
Right. Worrying about what people think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's showing his new book. I
I
think
see. Is that an axolotl on there?
yes.
He's
It's
the
from the
best.
book fair. He had a book fair, the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yes, I love that
And
thing.
it brought back so much nostalgia. I was like, oh, I used to love the book fair.
They have the fun pens and the sticker books, and I don't know what they have now, but I remember all that.
Would you like to show it real quick? Okay, come.
I think I remember buying my first journal from the Scholastic Book Fair. Oh, look at that cute guy.
Yeah, Axolotl.
Oh, that's fun.
There you are. Ooh, sassy,
Oh,
sassy.
it's kind of like a comic book. Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I remember when you cut it, I was like in my mind, like I had shaved mine. I was like, that's it. I'm deciding to just go for it. And for me, like I resonate exactly with that too, because I was like, what are people gonna think? And I remember always telling my husband, like, oh, I just want to shave my hair off. Like it's so overwhelming and it's like overstimulating. And I just want to like cut it all off. And then he was like, well, why don't you cut it off? And I was like, well, because what will society think of me? Like that actually came out of my mouth.
No, sure. I completely understand. It
What will
matters, even to
society think?
people like us who we think it doesn't matter.
It's crazy. It's just this people pleasing, like a boundary. There was no boundary
Mhm.
between like what I desired and what I thought others wanted me to do, which nobody cares.
No.
Nobody
And you
cares. But
look
in my
amazing.
mind,
Like, you look more you than you've ever looked with that hair.
thank you.
Yeah.
But like it was something I always desired, and I was just scared of what my family would say or what this. And what's
Mhm.
funny is my dad had a reaction that I wasn't expecting where he saw it. And at first he was shocked, but then he was like, that actually looks really good on you.
Yeah, 'cause it does. It does. I
Oh
think
my
my
God,
dad's still
thank God.
scared to see mine.
Yeah, and then I remember cutting it too was like it was a thing when I first did the bzz. It was like like my heart dropped and like I was like I'm second guessing everything and now it's too late to go back. I can't just have this shaved spot on my head. But I remember like it felt like a really big shift, like a shedding of this person that I was into the person that I wanted to be. And I remember you cut it.
Mhm.
I remember literally thinking physically, I was like, man, that hair, like, it was like an unconscious thought. And I made it conscious where I was aware of it. I was like, she looks older, like in a good way, like
Yes.
matured.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
her hair reminded me of a little girl and not in like a
Mhm.
like bad way where I'm like trying to
No.
offend you, but it was in a way
Oh,
where like
no, no.
I could see it like as a shield.
Sure. No, it definitely was. It wasn't, I didn't, this is the crazy part. I didn't even wear my hair down because I like to wear my hair down. And that is so wild to even think about it. Like,
Like,
I kept my hair long for everyone else. I wore my hair down for everyone else. My most comfortable hairstyle when my hair was long was up in a bun. So, like,
Really?
what's even the point of having
I
it?
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't even wear it down for any I just wore it down for positive attention, because that was the way that, that's how I succeed in life is positive affirmations, positive attention, things like that. That's why I did really well in school because my teachers would give me a lot of positive praise. And so I worked really hard to do good in school. And same thing. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, sure, I can look at someone now that has the hair type that I had, the similar hair type, And I'm like, oh, look at the beautiful curls. I'm like, wonderful for them.
Yeah,
Like I
Courtney's
don't
hair
miss
was
it.
curly. For anyone watching, you do have pretty hair. It's very
Yeah,
curly.
no, it's beautiful. Yeah. I don't know. And it's wonderful and I can appreciate it. And I wasn't willing to do the effort that requires to make it look good. It was just too much effort, I really just wanted it tied up. And then when I had it tied up, it hurt. And then I was getting like this weird bald spot thing back here. And now my hair is full. It doesn't look that full right now because I just washed it, but it's full. It feels fresh. It feels breezy. I love it. And
Me
I live in
too.
Alaska, so it's not like I really need, short hair to cool off. But
I
but it
didn't
did. It felt
know.
heavy. It felt
I
like
didn't
weight.
know that you didn't. I thought you wore it down all the time because you liked it. Because I don't think I ever saw you with it up. To be
No,
honest.
no. I would put it up as often as I could. Like I would wash it so that I could wear it down. And then if I didn't wash it the next day, I would have to tie it up. So oftentimes I would wash it more often, which just, that's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even like it. I
it's a lot of work to please other people.
know. It was like a blanket on my head, a shield. It was. And I actually had that feedback from another close friend too, that she said that she feels like I'm not hiding anymore, which makes
Right,
sense. It was like a curtain of hair, you
right.
know.
It
I am
really,
exposed.
really did remind me of like 5-year-old Courtney in like the nicest way possible, though.
I
Like
get it. Hmm.
it felt like it carried that energy. And I know because even looking at me and seeing myself with the longer hair, I'm like, okay, like 7-year-old Kylie, like what? Like you didn't have to have that if you didn't
I
want
know.
to.
It's
It's
so weird. I would fantasize about cutting it short when I was like older, like grandma age or something. Like, why am I waiting so long?
yeah. And I did have pixie cuts before, but
Hmm.
it wasn't short enough for me. I wanted to go shorter,
Yeah.
but like, "Ugh, I don't know if I can."
Yeah.
It's what I've always desired. So it's like this work really does give you the capacity to just be you, to just
Yeah.
be you, to have the boundaries that you need. It's like a practice that helps you come back to yourself, what matters to you, and the family members that you want to be close to versus the ones that you feel like you need to be close to.
And friendships.
And friendships.
I would feel obligated just based on the depth or the time of knowing someone to keep them in my life. I would help, like, it just reminds me of a friendship that I lost a year ago, actually, this month. I say lost, but I don't mean it like, oh, I can't find it. I dropped it, I dropped it because it wasn't serving me, it wasn't healthy for me. And it doesn't mean I don't care for that person anymore. Of course I still love her. I just can't have her in my life because the person that she is can't support the person that I'm becoming.
Right. She can't
And
where we're going.
yep. And the person who I am, the person who I have become and continue to grow into, is more valuable to me than any friendship, any relationship, because
Mhm.
that is a relationship with myself.
Right.
And I value that above all.
Right.
So,
So it's like summarized, it's like all of this energy was going outward, the attention, the seeking attention, the giving
mhm.
attention to, the protecting yourself, the pleasing, the holding on to relationships that were no longer serving you. That was big picture. That's a lot of energy going out. And
Just tired.
oh my gosh, it's just so much. It exhausts you, especially women where we're doing that and suppressing our emotions at the same time, which is a
Mhm.
lot of energy going down and a lot of energy going out, and none of it is coming to the center and none of it is coming up into the head. So it's just a very
And it was,
disconnected state.
yep. And it was just a cycle from my childhood. Like I said, drug addict mom,
Generation.
absent,
Yeah.
taking care of everybody. When did I even, oh man, the times that I've grieved for little me, because when did I ever have a time, even in my childhood, to say, what does Courtney need?
Right.
I just needed maybe a hug, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And instead, I'm fine. I'm okay. I make everyone laugh. I'm going to be the positive one. I'm going to be the loving one. I'll take care of everybody. I struggled with obesity. That's another huge thing. In the last 5 years of my life, I've been able to maintain a healthier weight. Whereas at one point, I was 345 pounds. And that was wearing the shield and the armor of carrying everybody else's problems and not giving back to myself.
Right.
So I don't even know, man. That was just being trapped in my own body was probably the
Yeah.
worst point of my life, the lowest point of my life. You know,
Yeah. For sure. For
I
sure.
even avoided you at that time in my life. I
Yeah.
was like, no, she's gonna see me. Oh no.
Yeah. And when I did see you, it was like obvious. I was like, she's hiding from me.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because it was the only other time we lived in the same state, you know. And I wanted to, like my heart wanted to be close and
I,
I was ashamed.
I can feel it.
I was like, don't see me like this because you won't love me like this because you'll leave me because you know what I mean? Which has nothing to do with you and everything to do
Mhm.
with,
Mhm.
you know,
Sure, for
my,
sure.
my,
Never leave you,
shame.
but you know that. I would never leave you. You know that now. You didn't
Yeah, I do. I do. I'm super solid on that.
know
Well,
that.
because I know that I'm worthy of a friendship like yours. And I know that for certain now. Whereas before I didn't feel accepted for all that I am by my family.
Did you
So
repeat that? Did you say you're worthy of a friendship like mine? What did you say?
yeah, that's what I said. That I'm worthy of a friendship like yours.
No. No. Let's edify that right now.
What? Tell me what. Give me
Like,
a wisdom, Kai.
you don't have to be worthy to be my friend, or like in from my perspective, you're like my sister. Or
Sure.
to be honest, you're like a first cousin.
First
A
cousin
really
is
close
cute.
first cousin. That's what you remind me of. Like,
Cousin. That makes sense, actually. I feel that.
it's like you never have to feel like you have to be worthy of me. I am not this higher up thing that you have to build yourself up to reach me. I'm here and
Sure.
there, and to connect with me, you just have to be here.
Sure. And I don't think I see you as like above or like something I had to reach. I just think I valued you as a person so much. And I was afraid that, some of those habits and things that I had of like maybe not always being the best friend or maybe not always reacting in a way. And I feel like it was me trying to protect you from me.
Well, let's reword
And
that. Let's
okay.
reword the sentence you said to match what you just said just now. So it's like you found the value, um you found who you are,
Mhm.
which helped you see what I see.
Yeah.
And so now that you see what I see, it's even.
Right. Like I accepted it instead of fighting it.
So being like, I don't know why you're my friend. I'm not worthy to be your friend. Now I'm worthy to be your friend. It's like, hold on. Um, Now you see what I see. You see the value that I see. You have uncovered the value of who you are.
Hmm.
And you know what I value. And you
Hmm.
know that my what I value is realness, truth. Um,
Absolutely.
action, movers. Like I value
Mhm.
like people who move. I value like it's like I see you as this like piece of gold,
Oh, thank
and
you.
like it's like my treasure. Like you're part of my treasure, just like my son, or just like my husband, or just like my dogs. Like I don't have a lot of treasures that I really value. That I value very fluid, sweet relationships in my life. That I value people I can communicate clearly with.
Hmm.
People who
Hmm.
don't hide, and people who don't shame themselves, or lower themselves. And I feel like that I'm describing myself. I also thought the same way, like I'm not worthy of this thing. And so it's like now that I see my value, and I'm glad that you see yours, you're not worthy to be my friend. I think I'm just really happy that we can see the value that we offer to each other in a way that's beneficial instead of detrimental and not toxic.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I think you're correct. I think I was inspired by your action and felt like I wanted to
Hmm.
see myself in that way too, you
Hmm.
know?
And I was
Because you
inspired by you,
I
like
love that.
your outgoingness and your like very openness. Like, yes, you were hiding, but at the same time, your personality is naturally open
Hmm.
and very unafraid and very brave and courageous. And I always thought, like, I want to be like her. And so, like, you did cross my mind when I first started doing videos. I was like, I need to have the Aka, the thread of thought, like Courtney. Like, she just does the thing. Cause I've told you, you remind me of my big brother who passed away, like, very outgoing,
Mhm.
and that's what I
Yeah.
was trying to be. So I feel like that's where the value is. We saw each other's value, and it
Hmm.
propelled us and
Kind of
um
like help each
fired us.
other.
Right. Just like
Hmm.
just like climbing. You know how people like they climb and they do the ropes for each other, like the
Yeah,
laying or whatever it's
exactly.
called. Like that's what it reminds me of. Like we're supposed to help each other up the mountain.
Totally. It's a lot
You
easier.
helped me and I helped you, and now we're just it's very fluid and just very,
Yeah,
it's like footsteps, you know.
totally. I'm
But yeah,
grateful.
so
You always put things very eloquent, you know? That's why you're the author.
thank you.
But I completely resonate with what you said, and I appreciate that. Thank you for the clarification and reframing.
For sure. And I don't want to hear that again.
I promise I meant it in the best way, but I see what you were saying now. Um, I just, wow, it's kind of crazy too, because I don't think anything like that has come out of my mouth in a while. But I think, going back and thinking of like how I was and how I felt, and, talking about when I was heavy and when I was in Colorado, we know we've talked about this quite a few times, but that was just like a heavy time. And so I think I was relating to that version of myself where I wasn't feeling those things. So
Have
I
you
appreciate that.
you Ho'oponopono that version of you?
No. I think we have another one.
And there's an
Yeah.
Uhiwai there. Just the sentence, I was gonna bring it up, but I was kind of waiting to see if you noticed. Just that sentence of like being worthy to be your friend or whatever it is you said. I was like, well, that's a breadcrumb.
Oh, right. No, you're right.
It's a
You're
red
right.
flag in my mind of like, what is that attached to? And it's, you do talk about this a lot with me, like your time in Colorado. So because it keeps coming up, I'm like,
That's
Uhiwai,
the one.
there's an Uhiwai. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There
like,
is definitely. There's one with that relationship that I had at that time. That's one past relationship that I haven't gotten to yet. I think
it's
I've
also
done like eight
the,
maybe or nine. I don't know.
I
Some-
think there might be a worry that you have to hold pono like of seeing me.
Oh, right. Right. I can even imagine my living room and like the recliner that I lived my whole life on at the time, you know? That
Right.
makes sense. And the guilt. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's coming back now that I'm tapping into it. I
Yeah.
had so much guilt around it because you were getting, you were pregnant and there was so many exciting, wonderful things. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to bring my dark cloud of shame around you. It's just, all those little things are coming up where I think you're completely right. I do need to, Yeah, we need to Uhiwai ceremony that one for
There
sure.
was a worry, like a shift in reality, like a shift in realization, like, oh, she's pregnant now and she's here and we're close to each other and
Yeah.
I don't see her this, and then when I see her, she's gonna think this. So it's like that shift in realization when you realized that moment you realized, and then you became scared of what I might think and all these things. That's the moment you need to ho'oponopono.
Okay. Yeah, I could feel it right now. Like, got
You
it.
feel it in your stomach?
Yep. I can feel it. I like the exact everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank
the
you.
you're welcome. Really quick before we end, I just want to say
Yeah.
like the work that I do focuses on the ho'oponopono foundationally. It's an emotional release practice where you have to do a specific ceremony that uses precise ways of pinpointing moments in time that really, like I said, shifted a reality, that shifted a belief in yourself, that shifted a belief in somebody around you, somebody close to you, that made you feel like very like isolated, alone, scared, that you're being judged. It's a very frozen moment. It's like an incomplete action where you were like, uh-oh, and then it stopped. And then you held it down, and the expression of it and the thought process of it and what you needed to say, it never got done. And so that attention was shoved down and pushed away. And then we end up looking for that attention, and giving it to other things our whole life to make up for these moments that are basically uhiwai. They're little clogs, they're little dams. Uhi is lid, wai is water. And it holds down our inner waters in our stomach, which is the seat of all emotions and the past in ancient Hawaiian culture. So it's like you these little moments in time is just dam, 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 dam. And it creates all of these blockages that saturate you into your past. And that's why there's that energetic pull of like going back, going back, going back, and looking back and trying to do things to edify the past in your present. And so you're not really living in the present, you're living in the past. And that's what jams up your future. And that's what continues generational cycles. So by like dissolving these uhiwai with the ceremony that I teach, that I have for sale, that I offer, it's like it's the foundational work that I tell everybody to do, but not everybody wants to do it. It's for people who are really looking, like how you did. Like you're really looking for a shift, for a change. You're tired of being in this cycle. You're tired of looking for the answer and you just can't find it. And then
Hmm.
it's like, oh snap, there's like this thing that like directly deals with this thing that's creating all these other symptoms. And that's what makes the Uhiwai ceremony special. That's what makes Ho'oponopono special. It releases that inner water from your stomach, from your womb space, from your past, pushes it back up into your body, into the present, and into the future in your brain. So it really is a reconnection and realignment of the past, present, and future, and also your gut to your heart to your brain. It's scientifically aligns with what modern science has proven today. So once we can do that, that's when you build capacity. When all that energy gets put back into the proper places instead of being shoved down, you have suddenly have emotional capacity because these emotions have been released and what they were protecting comes back up, and suddenly you're building all of this nervous system capacity, emotional capacity. It allows you to pause before you react so that you can respond. It allows you to think things through versus like I have to go see them, or I have to go to the holiday for the holidays, or I have to do this. It's like you don't have to do anything. You just think that we do because of that responsibility and suppression of ourselves in the past. And that's what the Uhiwai ceremony does. It releases these dams, allows us to reintegrate what is ours back into ourselves and really see the value of what we have to offer to ourselves and to our closest loved ones who are our world. And by focusing on our inner world and our home life, that world, it shifts the movement and energy of the outside world, which is
Mhm.
in Hawaiian culture, great mother and giver of all life. So it's a very respectful thing to do at the core. At the core of it, it's the right thing to do. That's why it's pono
Mhm.
twice, pono pono, pono twice. Like it's the very righteous, proper thing to do that not everybody is willing to do. So this ceremony is for really true seekers of peace, healing, alignment, just like you, um, who desire to break generational cycles, who desire a better world. And it's like you think you can't change the world because it's too big and there's too much messed up stuff going on, but you can. You can change it. And this ceremony proves it. It really proves it. I mean, by you not getting involved in coworkers' drama or like your other family drama, that's changing the world.
Mhm.
And then people can see that example and wonder what you did and how you did it. And then that can
I think
inspire somebody.
everyone could do it. Sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off. I wish
No.
everyone could do it because I just feel like I thought it was going to be some big, scary, really difficult thing, and it's actually so simple. It's so easy. I just want everyone to do one so that they can be like, okay, I actually choose this or don't choose this, because once you do one, once I did one, I was like, okay, when can I do the next one? you know,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
hold on, buddy, like, give it a month,
Your body
So,
does need time to reintegrate and rest a little bit between sessions. It is very real energy healing and realignment. And so people, um, they're like, what is this flu woo woo thing? And I'm like, okay, you watch. When you do it, you tell me how you feel.
it doesn't feel like anything besides just becoming more of myself, It doesn't feel like, oh, I've changed myself or anything. If anything, it feels like I'm taking off the jackets that aren't mine or the hats that aren't mine or, the weight that is was never meant to be mine to carry, you know?
That generational stuff is stripped. Yeah. And put down. It's put down. Yeah. So it doesn't pass on to the next generation,
Yeah.
which
And I
was
think you're right.
for
You have to
desire.
want it. You really have to want it because otherwise, it's so much easier to just do nothing and just continue suffering.
Sure.
You know,
It's
you think
especially,
it is.
yeah. And it's your body will try to resist it at first.
Will for sure.
Like, oh, like I'm still trying to protect myself. And then it's really, it's such spiritual and emotional precision. And your body
Mm-hmm.
knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Try to resist it. But to be honest, it is a lot easier and simpler than we make it out to be. And just the
Yeah.
overthinking of it and delaying it is literally our bodies just protecting us from something new. Where it wants to still hide, it wants to stay small because it fights change, but that's why the desire to change has to go along with the ceremony. And so, like,
Mm-hmm.
again, this is like foundational ho'oponopono. This is what is missing in the regular teachings today. It's literally the foundation. If we don't do this, nothing changes. You can't just do affirmations. You can't just do talk therapy. You can't just do somatic work. This is the emotional work that needs to be done before anything else so that the other modalities can work. They're supposed to work in unison and create harmony. They're not supposed to be like therapy, 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 therapy. Oh, I'm going to do somatic work, yoga, stretching, breath work, journaling, meditation. It's like, it's too much of the wrong processes in the wrong order. And that's exactly what keeps people stuck. And if only people could look to Indigenous peoples, world would be a better place because this is really Indigenous framework.
Yeah.
Endemic,
And I
endemic.
feel like it's frustrating when you know so much about your issues and not how to release them.
Yeah. It's like
Because
hyper awareness.
I could not do enough therapy, or, I'd be like analyzing myself while I'm reacting, like, wow, like this is because of your childhood trauma. I'm like, oh my God, this little therapist in my head is just like telling, I'm like, cool, but like, do something different. Like,
It's so triggering. It's so triggering.
it's also a different level, when you go into talk therapy and you talk about things, or even just having friends where you feel like you can be open, or I could be open. It's so easy to be like, oh yeah, so like my mom died when I was 18, yada yada, she was a drug addict. But then like Uhiwai, mom dying in that moment, like targeting that moment is such a different energy, because I'm really like facing it, not just being like blah 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 blah, like,
Yeah,
and I think, oh my gosh, I don't know, but I think talk therapy actually like it takes us further away from solving the problem.
it
you
does.
know?
It helps us intellectualize even more,
It's so
which puts
frustrating.
us into self-preservation mode even more.
Yes. Yes. Because emotion and intellect, I mean, this is the battle of my life. I'm sure many people, and you're like, oh, but I'm so emotional. And like me, for example, I see myself as highly emotional and highly intellectual, compared to average or whatever, And so it was this constant battle, like who was going to win. And I think I saw myself as intellectualizing my emotion, which is like, what? I'm just trapped, at this point. And so
Right.
being able to have a tool that takes me, on that journey with myself, targeting it specifically, oh, it's just life changing. Seriously. I
It's
mean,
the
I
marriage of
saved my
both.
own life with this.
You did. It's the marriage of both, the intellectualizing versus like too many emotions. It Once you do the work, you combine the emotions and the intellect and you become emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really what this is. It's emotional
Yeah.
intelligence to the highest degree. Yeah,
And I feel courageous, if I can take on my own dark waters, then, I can take on anything.
for sure. It makes you very emotionally intelligent. Just it's awareness that isn't too much. It's awareness that is beneficial versus detrimental. And that's where I always say, well, that's like the octopus, the most emotionally intelligent creature in the world in Hawaiian culture. Like to be so aware in a way that's beneficial versus like, can you imagine an octopus just like inking itself until the day that it dies?
It'd be terrible. What a terrible existence.
Like that's pretty much what we do. And then the ceremony stops us from inking, 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 inking,
Mhm.
hiding in a cave, camouflage, camouflage, camouflage. And it's like, bam, it's like
Mhm.
the water clears. You can see the details of the octopus. You can see its beautiful colors. You can see it dream. You can see it move. You can see it flow with the water. It's very, it's wholeness of mind, body, and spirit. That's what that is.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm
But
grateful.
thank you for, we went over the time. So sorry, but
Okay.
it was a good call though. Thank you
You're
for everything that you shared. I think this will benefit a lot of people who are like either just entering this work for the first time or who are curious to know more about what the ceremony does for you, whether or not it's scary, whether or not it's easy. So I think you answered a lot of questions that a lot of people have. Um, so I appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you opening up and doing this with me. You're the
welcome.
best.
You are too. I appreciate you so much, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life. And just like I've told you, I would do almost anything to get this to as far audiences as I can because I know what it's done for me, and I want us to get closer to world peace, And I know that world peace is an inside journey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, thank you. I value your friendship so much. But yeah, thank you. If anybody else is interested for more, I have another review um, coming up, and you can watch that one next. So thank you for coming.
you're welcome.